Hitting the bag seems pretty easy. Hitting the pads also seems pretty easy. But when it comes to sparring, not so easy. What you can land on the bag, what you can land on the pads, doesn't always correlate to sparring. Because when you actually spar, your opponents move. And it's moving around like this, and you're trying to throw a jab, you're trying to throw a cross, but you can't reach. These are 3 tips to help land your punches in sparring. In this video, I introduce my cameraman, Adam Peacock. He's got his new Venoms, he's feeling fresh, and we are going to go through the first tip to help landing your punches in sparring. Number 1, your base. When it comes to running, you don't start a running race with straight legs. You bend your legs to then explode. And that means if it came to a sparring environment and you haven't got your base set in the correct position and you've got stiff legs all the way up, in order for Adam to actually throw a punch, he has to bend his legs to then step into punch, which would be sparring or on the pads. And that is a slight delay. I'm then going to step back, Adam's going to throw. But he's going to miss. And the reason he has missed is because he wasn't in the correct stance in the first place. In order to be more efficient with your strikes and lands, you want to be ready at all times. You don't want to have to set yourself and then throw because you're going to be at a slight delay. And the way you can actually improve your base and making sure you are set is literally on the pads or on the bag. It is making sure you are ready all the time. If I'm doing pads with Adam and I see he's got bent legs, he's not ready all the time. Even when he's out of distance, I want him to keep bent legs. He throws his jab, he keeps his bent legs throughout. He throws his 1-2. He's bent again, he's moving, he's moving. If he straightens his legs up, watch this. I put a right hand up, see just before, he bent his legs and then he stepped in to throw. If you've got to bend your legs and then throw, you're going to be behind on schedule. Tip number 2 is you are not extending your punches. You are a T-Rex. When you throw a right hand, you've got a bent arm. You're not fully rotating through. To make sure we can utilize our range, we want to twist our shoulders and our hips simultaneously. Adam in this position is square. He's also got a bent elbow. What we need to do to utilize our range, because you should know that every inch counts. We want to rotate his shoulders and his hips at the same time, making sure his front shoulder is behind his back shoulder. If he's square, look at the difference in distance. His shoulders are currently square. I want you to focus on his fist. Look, when we rotate his shoulders and you can see his hip moving, look how he gets the extra inches. Adam would know. He needs to utilize the length he has. And you see here, his arm is straight. He's got no T-Rex arm. He's utilizing his range. He's extended through his arm, his hips rotated in, and he's twisted his shoulders all the way through. That is the same on his front hand as well when he's throwing a jab. He's moving his shoulders and his hips to make sure he utilizes the length that he has. It's actually the range, but I just used the word length because it's a bit of a joke. He throws a jab. He's extended through his arm. He's not got a bent arm. Throws his cross. He extends through with the shoulder. He hits through the pad. He throws a 1-2. Boom, boom. He extends all the way through. We're sparring through and moving around. If Adam utilizes his range, boom, boom, he can actually land. But if he throws like a T-Rex, good luck being able to land. Make sure you use every inch that you have. I believe this next tip is the most important tip. Some people don't drill it on the bag, they don't drill it on pads. But people don't want to get hit. I'm going to stand here in a spar. Adam throws a punch. It's not in range. The way we get into range is stepping in. Adam is going to step with his punches. And that is the most important part when it comes to sparring because people move. If you don't react to them moving, you're not going to be able to land. And that is why you're struggling to land your punches. If you can't land, it comes down to one thing. It comes down to your range. And one way you get closer with your range is by stepping with your feet. We are going to match the footwork. I'm going to show you a 1-2 for example. Adam throws the 1. Watch his front foot. Steps. He throws the cross now, but look at his back foot do a little step. And you see how these steps are subtle, but we only need a few inches to actually reach. Because in sparring, we're not all the way out here. I don't want to see this in sparring and trying to step in. we are going to be slightly out of range and then we step into range. And the way you can do this on the pads is making sure you are out of range. Don't be already in range with the pads. If you're on the bag, be out of range on the bag and step into the bag. I'm out of range from Adam. He's going to step with the jab, step with the cross. And then from there, he's going to clear his distance. He's covered distance, he then clears the distance. Adam steps in, throws his 1-2. There, he has number 1, he's got his base. Number 2, he's extended through his punches, rotating his shoulders and his hips simultaneously, and he's got no T-Rex arms. And finally, he stepped with his punches. That's the 3 ways to make sure you are landing your strikes. This is how you need to drill your pads or your bag work so you can progress this same style into your sparring, which is actually going to be useful. None of this pad work on the spot, throwing 1-2 from here or 1-2 hook, because realistically, in sparring, people move. You missed that one. We're going to be out of range. Adam's going to step in with his 1-2. Number 1, he's got his base. He's going to be moving through, but he's out of range. He then steps in for the 1-2. Boom, boom, he steps back out. Yeah, little steps. So he's got his base, he's extended through his punches, and he's stepped into range. He covers the distance. Boom, boom, he gets back out. Extend through your punches a little bit more on that one, Adam. Boom, rotate those shoulders through. Rotate that back shoulder. Boom, that's it. I picked up on that one that Adam didn't rotate his back shoulder through as much. So that means tip number 2, he could have been a lot more effective with it and covered a bit more range with his arms, which is going to help him land in sparring. I've got my cameraman here, and 2 months ago, he embarked on a mission to actually get into MMA himself. He's seen me doing it quite a lot, he'd been to my fights, so he decided to purchase Sway No Skills. Links below. And now, he's got his base, he's extending through his punches, and he's stepping with those strikes, so he can utilise his technique into sparring. If you want to be like Adam and be a complete beginner, or even look at advanced techniques, check out the link below at Sway No Skills. And me and him will see you, well, he might not see you because he's behind the camera, but in the next one. Bish, bash, bosh, straight to the mush, pow!